Frankly Fabulous interview. Ashley Escobar,
live from the manufacturers of Ennui.
That's right. This is where it's produced. This is where ennui is made. Let me just check this real fast. Let's get that good. Oh, that is nice right there. Okay. So yeah, we're just in conversation here. No big deal, you know.
Yeah.
Just gonna be in conversation about literature,
Yeah.
music, song lyrics,
Film, image.
World War II. Moving Image, of course. This is for the Museum of Moving Image. Hi, sweet kitty. Okay, I guess the cat just wants to sit there. Okay, I don't know. I mean, ooh, this chair feels like a break at any time.
You're fine. You're okay.
Okay, so I don't know. Where should we begin with the work of Ashley? Poetry, fiction, film.
Well, I think poetry is my first love.
Okay, cool. That's the first thing you remember doing, or?
Yeah, I mean that's the first thing I was like really like invested in doing.
Yeah.
But I've always like loved writing. Like I feel like when I was like in kindergarten, like there's a book that I had to put together about ourselves, and I put that I want to be a writer.
Really?
Yeah. But I just like I feel like back then, because like we'd always have like silent reading time, and I would just be like, oh, like I want like someday to like have my own book.
Yeah.
Here, so other people could read it.
Oh, amazing! Yeah. So even at a young age, you kind of realized that was possible.
Yeah, and then it really like even in first grade, it's actually really interesting because like I think like certain words I wasn't really good at pronounce, or like I don't know, like I wasn't really like it's not like I had to go to speech therapy or something.
I had a
like,
little,
yeah, but basically like my teacher actually told my mom like, oh, like when Ashley like does like readings and things in the future, like she'll need, you know, have to enunciate to like crowds and stuff, so you should send her to speech therapy just to fix certain words. But even then, like I think like people thought I would like amount to doing something in literature. That, like,
Interesting.
Yeah.
In first grade?
Yeah.
Because why? You had writing?
Yeah, like I mean I was always very
Could you put sentences together, or?
Yeah, well, even in kindergarten, like we'd have people come in and or like to help us when we were like learning to like write and stuff, like we'd be able to like I don't know if it's specifically like dream journal, but like I like have looked back at it and I basically like just kind of like illustrate my dreams, and then the parent who was there that day would like help me like write like describe my dream.
Wow.
So that all kind of like in a book. But in first grade, yeah, I was like really interested in like just like making my own books with like illustrations and words.
So you draw them and?
Yeah.
In what, like a notebook, or?
No, like just like in paper, like I'd
printer
fold
paper?
it. Yeah, and then I would just like draw and do that. But then in second grade, we actually had like a poetry program. Julian Poirier teaches literally at my elementary school.
Right.
Like he does this job now, but like basically like poetry instructors would come in and they'd like give us like a prompt or something.
Yeah.
And we'd all kind of like write based on the prompt, and then we'd be able to share it to the class, and then like we'd all have like a book where like it was like all the poems we've written throughout.
Wow, second grade.
Yeah, and then we'd also go on field trips. There was this place, I forgot what it's called to be honest, but like somewhere by the beach.
Yeah.
On like the south side of the beach.
Mm-hmm.
There's like just kind of like a lodge that people can like, or like, you know, places can rent out to like stay in, that's like right by the beach. and there would be like hiking trails and like fire pits and stuff, and
Yeah.
you'd be able to like just write poems like while we're out like walking and stuff. And then I was like,
Wow.
wait, like I want to just like, you know, walk around and write poems all day. Like I think that's
Yeah.
like the best thing
Yeah.
that I could ever possibly do.
Wow. So they taught you that when you were in second grade.
Yeah. And then in second grade I also had my own newsletter, or like my own fake newspaper. It was like called Girl Power magazine, but it wasn't like, and like I would put like fake ads and
Nice.
stuff, like, but my friend and I would write articles and kind of distribute it, like we would just print
Wow.
it, and yeah,
You print it on your printer?
yeah,
You give it to people?
yeah.
Who'd you give it to?
I mean, just like friends and
Yeah,
like
okay.
teachers and stuff, yeah.
Do you
just-
have any of this? You said you collected
Yeah,
everything, right?
It's, yeah, it's all in a box.
Do you remember poems and stuff that you wrote when you were in second grade, or?
I mean, kind of, but it's just like very like, I mean, I don't want to say basic, but it's like all like kind of based on like whatever like we were really like learning that week, but it's like
Okay.
kind of like, yeah,
So this is like the history of you writing through elementary school, and
yeah.
so you
and
were
then-
active the whole time, really.
Yeah,
You've been like writing and
yeah,
making
like,
books and.
yeah, because even like, so I did dance when I was
Oh,
like
wow.
yeah, I used to do dance, and even when we were in like second, or maybe when I was 8 or something, I was really, I mean, this is kind of also how film gets involved, because it's like, I was really interested in like, not necessarily behind the scenes, but I really liked all the production that we were doing, like, because like, in the dance like recital, like before it, like we got to like go through like costume books, like, you know, look for things to order, and like also like draw out like what we want our makeup and stuff to be, or like what kind of like how the sets are gonna be. And I was like, this is like, you know, putting on a film, or like,
Yeah, right.
and like I was just like that really interesting, because even like I mean obviously I didn't think I'd be a professional dancer, like that was never a dream of mine. Like I was just kind of like, I
What
like
kind of dance
dancing.
was it?
I used to, like, I started out doing ballet, but then, I don't know, like, I was a little, like, what do you call it, swayed, because my friends did just contemporary, like,
Right.
tap and jazz and
Okay.
stuff. So, and then I was, like, literally, like, I want to, like, do tap, and, like, that's, like, really hard to do when you live in an apartment, because, like, you know, your
Right.
neighbors are always, like, complaining.
Yeah.
And we didn't have hardwood floor, so like literally I'd have like a board that I'd have to like tap on at home. I mean, obviously like, I had a
God.
studio I could go to, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, I don't know, but I really like tap, and like I remember like doing all these like reiterations,
Yeah.
or like we did like this reiteration of like
Yeah.
the Ugly Duckling,
Okay.
and we like, I mean, it was very like creative, but like in a way it's kind of like poetry, and like
Yeah.
poetry and film, like different
Yeah.
aspects of it all kind of blended in together, because like I remember like looking through the catalogs, and we wanted like all these like costumes, like of like the poodle skirts, kind of like Elvis, like 60s vibes,
Really?
or 50s vibes, or
Yeah.
whatever, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And like I thought that was really cool, and I was like, yeah, but I really was fascinated more in the production side of it.
Interesting. Really?
Yeah,
Kind of the bigger vision, the director vision.
yeah. Like
Even
that was
as a
like the
kid.
most fun. Like even like before like we actually like, you know, put on the performance, like
Yeah.
building the whole thing like
Right.
seemed really interesting to me. Yeah, I was in this I forget what the musical is called. Like it might be called Really Rosie, but it's like based on a Maurice Sendak,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
or like someone like that. Like,
Right, right.
but I was in that musical, and that was very like a very like big ensemble piece,
Yeah.
and it was intertwined poetry, because like all the songs were poems, like children's
Okay.
poems,
Right, right,
but it was like a musical, but it was more dance focused, but that was interesting.
right. Yeah.
But that was like a whimsical kind of like Wes Anderson like ensemble
Yeah,
thing,
right.
because like there were like vampires, but also like songs about like alphabet soup and stuff. Like I don't know, it was very whimsical. Like I'd say.
Yeah. It's cross and all those kind of. Fictional.
But even like then, like I like wish I had a camera because like I like talking to people behind the scenes and like wanting to film all of that. Like I was
Really?
like I don't know, like
Yeah.
I'm kind of like that's like ingrained in my memory. Just like all the conversations I've had with people like while putting on this musical, that was almost like
Right.
I don't know, like that seemed more fascinating to me. And, like,
You were
I felt
asking them about.
no, just like the things we talk about, like kind of
Yeah.
just like the behind the scenes
Right.
stuff. And I feel like, you know, like I didn't do this, but like I would have just like written about it in my diary or like made a short story about it or something like.
Right.
I don't know, I was always like creating like stories like based on these
Right.
people.
Oh, okay.
I was like with and stuff.
You would write stories.
Yeah, I mean in my journal.
Right.
Yeah. And
So you were doing performance and writing. You were just
Yeah.
creative in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, and then what else did I do? Yeah, mostly that. Like I like, cause I kind of like, as much as I like really love like visual art. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we did also like painting in school and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, I felt like I was like really into it, but like I didn't. I feel like it wasn't connecting to me as much as like, as poetry.
Yeah. Right. So you read? Did you read or?
We like read to the class and stuff, or like when we
Yeah.
had like little like performances, we would read. But like most like my performances were like doing like the school play or
Right.
like.
No,
The
but
dance
what would you
performance and
read?
stuff.
You know, I mean.
Oh, like to actually
Yeah.
read physically. Okay. Well, in second
Who were
grade
you
or like
influenced
in
by?
well in elementary school, I was really.
What were
At
your
first,
early
I was just
influences?
reading like just just the chapter books, like Candy
Yeah.
Apple books and stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Or
Did you
like
read
just
Sideways Stories from Wayside School?
yeah, I mean I liked it like in first grade.
Yeah.
Like, I like stuff like that in first grade or like what's the other thing like
Yeah, that kind
yeah.
of stuff.
But I really liked Lemony Snicket. I think that was like a big
Right,
influence.
Daniel Handler.
That kind of like made me like want to like instead of just poetry, like think of like novels.
Right.
And, like I don't know. In second grade, I always had like a weird intuition that I already was like beyond what my peers were reading. Like my peers were
Yeah.
reading all these like very fast like
Right, right.
middle school kind of
Right.
like about middle schoolers, that kind of stuff. I was kind of like, this seems like kind of just like garbage to be honest. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I don't really care about this.
Yeah.
Like I want to be right. Like I
Right.
want to read stories set in like Paris or like I want to read
Interesting.
something or like something that feels like
Yeah.
more like real
Right, right,
than
right.
like a middle school crush novel that like just seems kind of like a beach read or something. Like,
Yeah, right. There's a lot of that for kids, I feel like.
Yeah.
Most of it's like,
So I feel like a
my
lot.
teacher's
of
an
it,
alien or whatever.
Yeah, so a lot of it just seemed really weird and like kind of like.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was stuff like Beverly Cleary.
Yeah,
I think
Beverly
that
Cleary, I remember.
seemed like
Yeah.
that seemed
Ramona.
like good. Yeah, like that seemed.
Yeah, there's
interesting
people
enough.
that get through.
Yeah, or like from the mixed up files.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You read
like,
that?
Yeah, like that was like interesting, but like
Yeah.
everything else just seemed very like I thought it was like too cliche and just like boring.
Yeah.
But like my friend would read it and I'd be like, this isn't like I just don't think it's good, and we literally had to kind of part a friend like. Anyways, but also like I feel like my knack for like creating
You had to
stories.
stop being friends with them.
Yeah.
Even back then.
Like I had cable I think when we moved, but I didn't really have cable when I was in San Francisco really.
Really?
Yeah. So like my friend like I like saw High School Musical and stuff like in
Yeah.
theaters and stuff, so like I knew like the
So
movies
that was a
and
big
stuff.
thing. You were like a 10 or something, 9,
No, I was 8.
8, okay.
We had cable when we moved to the suburbs, but that's like
Yeah,
another
right.
jump.
Yeah,
So, yeah, but like when in San Francisco, like I was just really busy and like I would just
Yeah.
watch like shows like I would watch like Arthur, like I would watch PBS.
Arthur, right, yeah.
Yeah, like I was like raised on
Arthur was
PBS.
great,
Yeah.
Okay, do you watch Caillou?
Yeah. Well, I thought that was a little like he's like a child. But,
Yeah, well, it was like for kids.
Yeah,
It's
but
you
like,
know.
but like when
But
I'm
Arthur
8,
was
yeah,
like.
but it's like when I'm 8, I'm kind of like he's like a baby, but like
Yeah, it was. It's like for,
Yeah, but yeah, I liked stuff like that.
Was Wishbone on when you were?
Yeah, I liked Wishbone. I really like Fetch with Ruff Ruffin.
Okay.
Do you know that?
No.
Wait, you would actually like it. It was always my dream to be on that show. So basically, there's like an anime dog named Fetch who's like the host of this show,
Yeah.
but then they're like real kids who like are completing all these missions.
Okay. Yeah.
And like they learn things through the missions, but it's like, oh, like looking at like how like certain candy is made or something like. and I was just always like, I need
So
to
it's
be on this
educational,
show
kinda?
because it's like I want to compete
Yeah.
and be on this show or like
Yeah,
it seemed interesting, but my other friends like they would talk about like you know like Disney Channel shows or something, but I couldn't really
right.
relate.
You didn't watch that stuff.
Well, every
You didn't watch
Saturday.
Even Stevens or whatever
Well,
was
every
it?
Saturday.
Drake and Josh or whatever.
I didn't watch Drake and Josh, but every Saturday, what do you call it? Every Saturday, ABC like would have like some like episodes of like Hannah Montana.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
Slim, Zack
really?
and Cody,
Saturday
like,
morning?
airing. Yeah. So like I would
Interesting.
watch
They showed
that.
live action on Saturday
Yeah.
morning. That was usually cartoons when I was a kid.
Yeah, like I was able to watch like some Disney Channel stuff
Right.
for free.
I see. Okay.
But
So you saw a little bit of Hannah Montana.
yeah, I mean I can't really pinpoint it now because it kind of actually doesn't really make sense because I did follow Hannah Montana, but like I just don't really remember having, or maybe we did have cable when I was like in second grade, but I don't think we had cable before that. I don't know, like the logistics.
Was that
But I
in
just
sync with like people your generation? That's what they were. Everyone was watching Hannah Montana at that age, or were you a little
Yeah.
young, or were you a little
Yeah,
old?
no,
or-
everyone, like
So
all
High
my
School
friends,
Musical was like aimed at you.
yeah,
Hannah Montana's
Yeah.
aimed at you.
like I mean
Interesting.
I like
But
like
Miley
Sweet Life,
became
yeah.
like this crazy like
Yeah.
act like very quickly.
Yeah,
it
but
felt
I like Sweet Life with Zack and Cody and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
But basically, like, I don't know. But at some
Yeah.
points, like, I
Right.
would just like,
That stuff feels like it's very
Yeah,
influential
but
on people
like
your age.
when I like at recess or something, like I
Yeah.
would just want to like almost like kind of like fan fiction, but not
Yeah,
really.
right.
But like I would be like, we should make our own scenes from these like TV shows.
Really?
Like at recess, yeah. So it was basically like my way of like trying
Nice.
to like write scenes
Yeah,
and
right.
stuff.
And
Right.
how would you do that? You would tell people what to say? Or?
Well, we would just pretend to be the characters and like make up new
Oh.
scenarios and stuff.
Nice,
Like I was
that's
always
cool.
really, I don't want to say role playing, like it's not
Yeah,
like, you know,
right.
cringe like that, but it's like
Yeah.
kind of like, we're like,
Yeah.
we are like putting the show and like making it beyond
Yeah,
the
of
show,
course.
like,
I see. Yes,
like,
you're expanding the
yeah.
fictional universe.
yeah, I guess.
Fan fiction.
Yeah, like it's fan fiction real life, but like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, okay, but what about the internet? Was that always a part of your life, or
Well, I feel like I use the internet more like
were you an
after
iPad toddler?
well, that's kind
That
of
was a
like
little
after
after
I
you.
moved.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But like back then, like I was very much in like real time. Like I would go to the library a lot and stuff
okay.
like that.
I see. Right. Okay.
I barely watched TV.
In San Francisco.
Yeah.
When did you move?
So I mean, I'm reaching up to that. So third grade, I think that was like I don't want to say like I peaked in third grade. Like I don't think I did. Like that sounds like really insane to say.
You were in the what GATE program or what was it?
Yeah, so in third grade,
Gifted.
that's when you learned if you're a gifted student or not, I think.
That's when you learned. Yeah, that's what they told me.
No, so you take a test or something
Yeah.
in
They
second
put me
grade
in
or
great
something.
books. Which
Yeah,
was
and
like
then
for the smart kids.
Yeah, and then I was in the GATE program, and the GATE program kids were able to be in this like what do you call it? In this like you know like kind of not hibernate not hyphenated. What is it called when like a book is kind of like distilled for like a younger audience?
Oh, I know.
What's the word for it?
Really, that's cool.
No, cause like I had like
Interesting.
I had-
Distilled.
well not
for younger
distilled but
audience.
like shortened or like
condensed,
condensed.
abridged.
Abridged.
Is that what
Abridged.
you're
That's what
looking
I'm looking for.
Okay.
Abridged.
Yeah.
Okay. But basically, like we put on an abridged production of La Boheme with like the San Francisco opera people.
Really?
Yeah. In third grade. So it's like it was like I
Like your
was like
school, you were like the kids in the
Yeah.
opera or something.
yeah.
Okay.
So like
Really?
so I was like a star. Like I was.
You were
one
a
of the-
star?
Well, I was like one of the main kids. So I
In
played
front of how many people were in the audience?
I mean, it was like the whole school and like families and stuff.
Okay.
But like,
So it was like a school production.
yeah, but with the San Francisco Opera, who came in and were
Okay,
like the main
alright.
adults in the.
I see.
Yeah,
Cool.
but yeah, I played
Amazing.
Chouinard, and I
So
got
you
to
a
come
star.
in and be like,
You've always
like,
been.
like happy, or it was like Merry
Yeah.
Christmas, and I had like a bottle of wine on stage, and I was kind of like, you know, I just want to live a bohemian life. Like at that point, I was like, you know. fuck
What
all
was
these
it that they
people.
knew that let's put Ashley in this role and she's gonna just eat it up?
I don't know.
You just had that quality even as a kid. Were you
Yeah.
special in your class? Did people treat you like you were special? Or something? I don't know. You said you were gifted. I don't know.
I mean, I would think so, but like, I mean, I wasn't that good at math. Math
Okay.
was like kind of my weak
Yeah.
skill, so like, but that was fine. But like, I mean, like in
Yeah.
terms of like reading and talking and stuff, like I feel like
Yeah.
like teachers
Yeah, right.
did notice.
You just, yeah.
But I don't know.
Right.
Like my second grade teacher called me a crybaby. It's just
Oh,
like, another
no.
teacher, yeah.
That's cruel and unusual.
Yeah.
Wow.
But in third grade, like I was very like, I mean, I'd always get in trouble in class for talking. Like I think that was a big thing.
Yeah.
But but I'd always like, you know, like do all like the, like reach all the reading goals and like get like Pizza Hut coupons.
Oh
like,
wow,
yeah,
okay.
like,
They had contests and
Yeah.
stuff, right? You'd read 20
Yeah.
books or whatever.
Yeah. So I was like, and then like I went to the YMCA like after school program, and like there like, I feel like a lot of like people like recognize like that I'm like really interested in like doing something artistic at least.
Right.
Like, I feel like yeah. But then like, yeah, in fourth grade before fourth grade I moved.
Right,
basically.
okay.
And that was just like kind of like a culture shock because I like was in the suburbs.
Big time.
Yeah.
So you moved from San Francisco,
Yeah.
city,
Yeah.
to suburb.
Yeah. To
Like a
Roseville,
subdivision
California,
type
yeah.
thing? With like a garage and a...
Well, we lived in an apartment complex
Okay.
that like basically was like a gay community with like, you know, like a pool, like
Okay.
a clubhouse and
Right,
all that
right,
stuff.
okay. And you lived there for 8 years?
No, well, I lived there for a year and we moved to another apartment. Then my mom got a condo
Okay.
and we lived there until 2015.
Wow, okay, so you moved back to San Francisco when you were 15.
When I was 14, but like that summer I turned 15, yeah.
So you were there for what, like 5 years or something?
No, I was there for 6
6 years,
years,
okay.
yeah. Or five to six.
Okay, and like middle school and...
Yeah. So then, like, fourth grade, I just, like, yeah, like, I'd hang out with, like, the neighborhood kids and stuff, but, like, they just seemed, like, I mean, they weren't really into, like, Lemony Snicket and, like, stuff
Yeah.
like that, like me. And, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I just felt very different, and, like, I would just sit and, like, basically, like, watch TV like, the whole summer. But, like, I'd also read, but,
Yeah.
like, I feel like
Yeah, I did
read,
that basically.
like, I got really into, like, Percy Jackson.
Okay.
And just go swimming.
That was a
lot.
book series too, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah,
You were into
actually
swimming.
no, I
yeah.
did do swimming in San Francisco. I would do
Right.
it. It was
But
indoor.
swimming was like a
but-
big thing for you.
Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, I learned to swim when I was like really young.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how old.
Your
but,
parents like swimming or something?
No, my mom was
How did
really
you
even good
swim?
swimmer. I don't
You had a
know.
pool or wherever you were swimming?
No, I swam at the YMCA.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I took lessons when I was really young
Okay.
to learn how to swim. And
You just loved it.
yeah, well, we'd always go to like family trips like Hawaii and stuff, and I
Okay.
just like
Yeah.
I love being
Just
like
get
in the
pool and
ocean.
just
Yeah,
swim
well, I
for
love
a
swimming in the
whole fucking day.
ocean.
The
Like,
ocean?
yeah, the first time I did a flip was actually in the ocean, which is like actually kind of crazy to think about. But first time I ever flipped was in the ocean.
The water did that to you, or how did that
No,
happen?
I just wanted to do a flip, like
So
how
you
you do
just-
in the pool. Yeah.
Okay. So you like swimming in the ocean?
Yeah,
Even though it's
do.
very salty and sandy and rough and...
I mean, I feel like it's not rough if you go to the right parts.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's a lot different than swimming in a pool.
It is, but like I just like being in the ocean.
The
I
first
think
time I
it's
went in the
really
ocean, I
fun.
was like shocked. Because I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be like a
I thought it
fucking
was
pool,
really-
or you know, I
yeah,
thought it was
yeah.
gonna be like.
Yeah. No,
But it's all
I thought it was
salty
really
and
fun.
it's like swimming in a fucking club soda.
Club soda. I mean, yeah, like it really depends on where. Like I feel like, yeah, cause like when there was a moment where I was kind of like, it is very salty, but sometimes it just you just
Yeah.
gotta look past it, I guess.
Right. Look how good this cat's being.
Huh?
Look how good the cat
Yeah,
is
the
being.
cat
It's
just
insane.
sleep. But yeah, so then fourth grade, I was just kind of like adjusting there, like
Right.
you know, like yeah, I feel yeah, just like going to Walmart seemed like the coolest thing ever.
no.
Like, well, cause it was just
Yeah,
like,
in the
huge.
suburbs, that's why they
Yeah,
build
'cause
it
it's,
that
like,
way.
Huge and
Yeah,
there's, like,
I
all
felt
this
exactly the
stuff.
same way. I felt exactly the
And
same
it's
way.
just like, oh, this.
When
is,
we
like,
lived in a
biggest
hill,
thing.
you're literally the only thing to do was to go to the mall or that.
Yeah,
kind of
like
stuff.
I would just go to the mall and stuff, but like
You had to drive to some kind
Yeah.
of parking lot mall.
Yeah. And then fourth grade, yeah, I was really into Percy Jackson, that stuff. Fifth grade, I was telling you, like, I was put into this fourth grade, fifth grade split.
Right.
And that's when I really, like, not so much fourth grade, I think. I don't really have that many memories of, like, really being that engaged in, like, writing as much in fourth grade.
Interesting.
I just remember I was really obsessed. This is gonna be cringe. That's when like Justin Bieber was the big thing.
Bieber's cool. I like Bieber.
Yeah.
You were obsessed with Bieber, so you were
Well,
one
no,
of the.
I wasn't even that like obsessed, but I
believer
just like
or
lied
whatever?
to people. So basically in fourth grade I went to San Diego over winter break and I lied to people that I ran to Justin Bieber. Like,
You lied.
yeah.
You made up a story.
Yeah, I made up a story
and
about
you told
Justin
people
Bieber, yeah.
that you met Justin Bieber in San Diego.
Yeah.
And they believed you and thought you were
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And so it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
See, okay. So even back then.
But then I like started getting like more ants up on my lies. Like,
Yeah.
like I would like, I don't know, I had like this heart shaped thing, and I'd be like, yeah, so and so gave this to me for Valentine's Day. Like I don't know, cause it was
Who?
just like, huh?
Who? Somebody in school.
Yeah, this
Okay.
kid.
Wow. So you're just making
This
up
kid
shit.
Noah Otto.
Gee, sounds familiar.
I don't make up stuff.
Wow. Fake it till you make it.
I don't make up stuff
Okay.
anymore. But Noah Otto, he was weird, but
Noah Otto.
he was
What
one
a
of the
name.
gifted students in
Okay.
fourth grade.
Yeah.
I think he got kicked out of school. He wasn't back in fifth grade.
He got
That-
kicked out of school?
This kid was like neurotic, I think.
Wow.
But he was like, I mean, I don't know how he was in the gifted program, but
Yeah.
like, we would talk about like books and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, people would be like, because I think he like used to shoplift like toys and stuff like that. Like those like I don't know what they're called.
Yeah.
Do you know those like little balls that like when you like put them on a metallic thing they kind of like pop up?
No.
I have no idea. Yeah, I know. It's kind of like a fever dream. Like I have no idea what they're called. But there was like this weird game that like guys in fourth grade liked, but. But yeah, no, a lot of kids would joke that this kid was gonna go to juvie or something.
Not pogs. You're not talking about Do you know what a pog is?
No.
Oh
What's
my
that?
god. Pogs were the fucking biggest
Wait, I have to
thing.
look this up.
All of a sudden, 1994 in fourth grade, all of a sudden, every fucking kid on the same day in school brings in and starts playing Pogs.
Oh wow.
Pogs were, I guess they're Hawaiian. What it was it was some kind of milk cap. They put it on the top of your milk cap. So you get these cardboard, and they all had different designs on them. They all had cool ass fucking, paintings on them basically. And so you'd put your pog down, face down, and you had what was called a slammer. They really should make a Pog movie because
Yeah.
Pogs were lit as fuck. I mean, Pogs, they were like fidget spinners. It was just something that came out of nowhere. And so you got a slammer, you go to the store. There was a Hallmark store in Grandview near the Big Bear that sold Pogs. It was the only place that sold Pogs, and they weren't cheap. You know, it was like
Yeah.
$20 for a slammer or something. And so you get your slammer, which is like a metal fucking. You know, they made them like this thick with fucking like ninja stars. You know. And so what you do is you take turns hitting the Pogs with the slammer, and if they land face up, you get to keep it.
Interesting.
So it's basically a form of gambling.
Yeah, that's funny.
But it was awesome. I loved
It was
fucking
these
Pogs.
like, I think they're called Bakugan. They're like these like
okay.
they're
Yeah.
these like small balls that kind of like turn into.
Oh, amazing. Those are sweet.
But
Yeah, that was
apparently-
definitely after my
Yeah,
time.
no, apparently he used to like.
I've never seen
I
that.
think he had like a weird like, you know, like black market trading thing or something like something
Yeah,
weird that
that's how
people
that
were
stuff
kind of
is.
sussed out about him.
Did
but-
you ever do Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
No, that was a little like. But we had this dumb shit called Silly
Oh
Bands,
yeah, I've seen those.
That
Those
was, like,
were
Yeah,
You had a
those were
bunch of
big.
those?
Yeah,
Silly
so there was
bands.
this place called Learning Express that was actually a toy shop. I have no idea why they called it Learning Express. Like it's kind of like
sounds like a cool toy shop.
yeah, but I mean
Learning
it was nice.
Express.
It was in the mall, but you could get all the silly bands were there, so I would just go there to buy silly bands.
Oh my
I had my
How
own.
much is a silly band?
Oh,
Just
they were
pray
kind of.
tell.
It's like in a pack. I think they were like I want to say $12. Like kind of. Like
Really? For how many?
like maybe 6 or 12. I don't know. Like I can't really remember like the price range, but I basically had like a collector's box. Actually,
Yeah.
I still have
Collector's
it.
box.
I still have it. Now I store my like pins in it, but it like says Ashley and has like a drawing I think of like a penguin silly band or something like that. But it's like this orange box that has that.
So you have your silly bands.
Yeah, I do.
someplace. Wow.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, no.
What year was that?
2009, 4th grade.
Okay.
So
Alright.
there was I'm
It
not
always
gonna
happens
say,
in 4th grade.
yeah, I'm not gonna say there was a love triangle, but there was Noah Otto, the juvie kid. I mean, he didn't go to juvie, but
Oh
he
no,
handled
that's
that.
what you're into? You're
No,
into juvie
no,
kids?
I'm not.
Oh no.
I'm not.
That's a huge red flag.
And then there was this kid. Well, he just disappeared the next year. I have no idea where he went.
Noah Otto?
Yeah, no idea.
You never looked him up on Facebook?
Oh wait, I
or
think
anything?
I think I looked him up on Instagram, and I think it was so.
He's probably a fucking dickhead filmmaker in Bushwick. or
No,
something.
that's the thing. I think he got sent away.
He probably lives in Highland
no,
Park.
he got sent away, and I think he's a Jesus like believer now or something.
Whoa.
Like I
okay.
think something like I don't know what like why you do that to like a
Damn.
4th grader, but like I don't know what happened to him. But there's this kid named David Brooks who's also in the gifted program or whatever. But we would talk about books, and he like actually said that one day I would be like a famous author or something, and I was just
Wow.
like,
So you really were focused on that your whole. You never wavered from that.
Yeah.
Really. You never want to be president or anything like that. You
no,
want to be a writer.
no. I actually in 5th grade did a presentation as Hillary Clinton. Like I did my whole
Really?
Yeah, because we
In
did
character?
yeah no because we did this thing called Wax Museum.
As
basically,
Hillary? Were you pro Hillary or?
I mean I was Hillary. Like I was Hillary.
But did you like Hillary or were you trying to throw her under the bus?
I liked her. I didn't.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
So we had to do this thing called Wax
Can
Museum.
you tell me anything about Hillary or?
God knows. I know she went to like Wesleyan or something. Did she?
Oh, okay.
But
She went to Yale. That's how they met Bill. They met at Yale Law School.
okay, she went to Wesleyan for undergrad then
Yeah.
probably. But yeah. But basically we did this called Wax Museum where we had to like be a historical figure or something, and I picked Hillary Clinton for some reason, but
Of all history.
God knows. God knows why.
Interesting choice. That was when, 2010 or something?
2010
So she had
10 or
just
11.
lost?
or 11.
Cool, good choice.
But
Secretary of State.
yeah. And then 5th grade, I would do all these like extra credit essays where I would like research something. So I wrote one on like Coney Island and just like different things. And I was just really like interested in like researching and writing essays. And it was kind of like, oh, like you know, like why aren't essays about like anything you want, like not like implemented more into like
Right.
our education? Because it seems like we weren't really writing like.
Really? You didn't write essays?
I mean, we did, but they weren't
That's
like
all we
interesting.
did.
But they weren't like interesting essays, you know.
That's for sure.
Like there were essays about like the book we read or something.
Yeah, of course,
Like,
yeah.
like I want to just have the freedom to like write about what
just
I
like a
want to
thought
write about.
piece,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we didn't have like, yeah, like 4th and 5th grade weren't that like, what do you call it? Like creative. Like we didn't really have like options to do like in my elementary school, like my old elementary school, like where we were doing art or like writing or creative writing things. Like it just seemed, and like 5th grade especially because our teacher was basically not talking to us because she thought we were the smart 5th graders who didn't need to.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right,
so it was just kind of.
Because you were in that
Yeah,
split thing.
It was just so messed up. So I felt like very weirded out. Anyways, so then summer 5th grade, after 5th grade, I think I was like that was like when Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out.
That's Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, because our teacher was so negligent, she was at the middle of the year, I think she just started just putting on Harry Potter movies.
Nice.
And that's all we would do.
That's what they're doing for English. That's what English teachers are doing now.
That's kind of
it's
why.
Just Harry Potter DVDs.
No, that's literally why. Like I even got into Harry Potter.
English classes
like,
are just
looking
Harry
back
Potter
now,
DVDs.
I was kind of like, I didn't even really like the Harry Potter books that much. Like even as like a.
Really? You said you were obsessed with
No,
them.
this is the thing. So even.
You said you won trivia contests.
Hold on. So even as like a 5th, 6th grader, I was kind of like, or a 5th grader turning into a 6th grader, like I was like, I just don't really like, you know, the language just isn't poetic, you know, like I didn't feel like that connected to it, but I just thought the whole lore of like, you know, people like dressing up in robes and stuff, like I thought that was cool, like I thought the culture around it was like I mean, or like I thought it would be like,
wow.
I mean, I don't know why, like I just was so fascinated by it.
Did
So,
you like Snape or who's Alan Rickman? Were you into him like everybody else?
no, I didn't like Snape. I like Draco, the blonde guy.
Right, okay.
The Slytherin. But like no, so I don't know why, but like I
He
was
could be a
basically
Dodge
I was
Square.
basically forced into
Draco's like a Bennington grad.
no, but I was like forced into Harry Potter because our 5th grade teacher would just make us watch Harry Potter. So I was like, I might as well read the books, I guess, because I'm being forced into it. So I read all the books.
Yeah.
Then,
Wow. You didn't like them that much.
no, the first one I didn't even think I was like I'm not really even gonna read this.
What's better, Percy Jackson or Harry
Percy
Potter?
Jackson.
Really?
I think Percy Jackson's way better. Like, I can't discuss like the spin-off series he tried to make after Percy Jackson, but the Percy Jackson originals were all like, I think they were very succinct. The characters felt more personable and like more. There was more attention to detail.
Okay.
Like I could tell you like Percy like blew M&Ms like you know like stuff like that, like small details that like I could cling on to and seemed very real. But Harry Potter, it just seemed like it just seemed like the prose was a little lackluster and it was just very like it was more about the plot. But I do have to say Half-Blood Prince was the most like compelling because there was a lot more backstory about like Snape and about Sirius Black and all those people.
Right.
So it felt more like you're getting like their past. But I'm like, wait, like why like why is the past stuff like more interesting than the present? It's because the present in the books series actually like doesn't really matter. Because Harry's not even that interesting of a character. Like Harry's just bland. And,
right.
Like, I don't know. But Percy Jackson just was a more interesting character.
Interesting. Yeah, that sounds about it.
And there was actually, like, it was about, like, Greek mythology and stuff. Like, it was actually, like, more connected.
They bring those characters in?
Yeah, because these kids are, like, the half-bloods. Or, like,
I see.
Yeah.
When does that take place?
Modern day.
Okay. Did you read Treasure Island or fucking Edgar Allan Poe or any kind of classic?
Yeah, so then
when did you start reading Shakespeare, or when did you start to actually study
so then
Catcher in the Rye or something?
Okay, we're getting there slowly. So
we're going one grade at a time
we
here.
are,
We're on fifth grade.
It's very important. Because then this is when I hate my dad, or maybe I shouldn't say this, but...
Is that a book, or...?
No, I hate my dad for, basically, I think the summer between, or was it 6th grade?
Yeah.
Before 6th grade, my dad gave me an iPad.
Really?
And that kind of fucked me up because basically,
Why? What
I
did
don't
he
know,
think was gonna
just
happen?
thought it was a cool.
Literally an iPad. My
It
mom got
just
like
came
a
out.
knockoff.
Like it just came out, and he just thought it would be an interesting thing.
She got me a tablet.
Yeah, so I had one. I had like the iPad 2
When you
or
were
something.
10 or 11 or
11.
something?
So I would just go on it, and that's when I was like really into Harry Potter. So I'd go on like the chats of like just like games where it's like making donuts or something. But I would sit in the chat and just be like I was an extra in Harry Potter,
You'd lie about it?
like I was basically just like telling people like weird information, and it was just kind of funny.
Yeah.
But like
Wow.
but then-
That's what you did with your iPad. You
Yeah.
lied to people on the internet.
basically.
In the Harry Potter chat room.
Yeah, but anyways, I was gonna mention this last time, but I thought this would make a better story here.
Yeah, okay.
So when I was 11, there was this kid who was like really good at like making websites or something. So he made me like he built like he like wanted to be like a web designer or something. He made me or a coder or whatever.
Yeah.
He made me like a website.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, and I
For what?
basically, huh?
What was on
It was just kind of like, a landing page or something, and like I just had like a game that people could play, and then like there was a chat box so my friends could like leave me messages.
Wow.
Basically, I kind of like.
Where's the Wayback Machine?
I know, I kind of
The
manipulate.
Wayback Machine.
Oh, here's the funny part. So, what I'm gonna tell you about the chat box,
Yeah.
I printed all of these messages.
Oh
My
my
mom
god,
later-
you're a devious little kid.
But the thing is, this is like the most concerning part about this chat box. So.
Enter your deepest
wait, wait.
secret, it'll never
Wait,
be.
So my friend Michelle,
Yeah,
I got her to get on a chat box and we were chatting,
yeah.
and then she thought, so back when I was in San Francisco, I had this friend, maybe I shouldn't say her name on this live stream or in the internet, let's just call her S. I just know she doesn't like me, so I can't, okay. So S was just this character because it's like, we had grown up and we were like best friends at certain points and stuff.
Yeah.
But like in Roseville or like in Sacramento or whatever, like
Yes.
she was just kind of like a figment where it's like, like I could tell other people about her but they don't know her,
Right.
So I just like kind of started making up stories about her, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what about, but like just like, oh, like I know this crazy person that I used to know or whatever. So basically on my chat box, my real friend Michelle was actually on it, and we were chatting.
Oh.
But then
Yeah.
I introduced the S character, and I made it seem like she was on the chat, but it was just me pretending to be her. So it was like this psychotic thing where my friend actually thought like my old friend was on it too, and we were chatting, and then I printed all of it out, and then my mom found it, and she was just like why are you bullying your old friend or something?
Your mom could figure out what was going on? Anyway, go on.
Well, she read it, or she read some bits of it.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, like, why are you, like, gossiping or something, like, about, like, your old, like, why are you creating this situation? But I didn't want to tell her, like, I'm not because, like, that was me.
Yeah,
pretending
right.
to be my old
I
friend.
see,
Like,
okay,
it's not like we
right,
were actually
yeah.
bullying the actual person. you know?
Right.
But I thought that sounded more psychotic, so I was just like, I'm sorry, like, I'm not gonna bully people with new friends. So then she got me the American Girl book that was like, basically it was like a girl's version of like how to win friends or like influence
Yeah,
people, but it
right,
was like
right.
from American Girl, like, like how to keep your friends or something like that.
Really? For kids?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's about like friendship, like
It's like
American Girl
Yeah,
book,
okay.
friends.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, making them and keeping them.
Whoa.
Cause she thought like I needed it. But,
Is it healthy, the message of that book, do you think?
I mean, it's just like about like
Making
being
them
nice
and
and not
keeping
gossiping.
them.
Like,
Do you think it worked?
not
Or
really.
do you think those impulses are still in you to lie to people? And,
No. I'm over that.
Okay.
I don't like.
Okay. Don't bully people and.
No.
Alright.
No. So, anyways.
Yeah, so where are we? Yeah.
So then
anyway.
sixth grade, right during before sixth grade started.
Yeah.
Well, I would always go to Barnes and Noble,
Yes.
and I would always like look at all like the posters they have with the classic books and
Yeah.
stuff, and I'm like I can't wait until I actually read all of those things.
Right.
I'm just like why aren't they teaching me that in
Right.
like I don't even know what we were reading 4th and 5th grade
Right,
seemed
right.
irrelevant to my life. So I was just kind of like, I can't wait for that day.
Yeah.
And like I would have like the Barnes and Noble, they have those like, you know, those big editions,
Yeah.
like the kind of the fancy cover
Yeah, of
editions.
course, yeah.
I had that of Edgar Allan Poe, so I
Right,
started
right,
reading that.
I see. Okay.
Like, and I started reading like, you know, the real like Alice in Wonderland, like
Right,
things like
right,
that,
right,
like
right.
classics. And then 6th grade happened, and I actually read Pursuing a Wallflower.
Oh,
And that
yeah,
actually
right,
like changed my life.
Right.
Because I was like, this
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
very like this feels like a real story
Right.
that like I really like felt connected to.
Right.
But I feel like, I don't know, in some ways like I'm glad I read it when I was
Yeah.
like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, why am I like reading about this kid like going like insane on acid like this young, and like because it's all like central about like suicide,
Right.
and like I was kind of like I didn't have someone to like really guide me while I read it, but like I did read it, and it was just like
Yeah.
it like really affected me in a way.
Interesting.
And that's also when I went on Tumblr for the first time, probably.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of like a place. Well, at first I used Tumblr like to connect with other like Harry Potter fans and like, you know, cringe stuff like that. But then I was like, you know, like, but then the thing about me
Your
is
iPad?
that no, just on my computer.
Yeah. Okay.
So then I was just like no, like all those like, you know, fandom blogs, like their
Yeah.
blogs don't look aesthetic, you know, like I need my blogs to look aesthetic, so I like unfollow those people,
Right.
and it was just more like scenes from things and like
right,
and like quotes, from being
Yeah.
from Pursuing a Wallflower,
Right, yeah.
and then I kept seeing Skins
I
UK.
need vibes. I just need vibes.
Yeah, so it was basically like a vibe machine.
Yeah.
Well, because it's like yeah, because I just felt like
Yeah.
and it's like a shame that
Blogspot was not a vibe.
it's a shame that I never like posted my outfits, because like I don't know, I was kind of known for like my outfits in middle school.
Really?
Yeah, like
Was it-
literally the first week of school, some girl came up to me and was all like, I mean, I thought this was bullying, but it's probably not bullying, it's just a backhanded compliment. But she was like, Ashley, like, how many skirts do you even own? Because like I would just wear a different skirt every day, and like
Wow.
I would always get dress codes. So that's when like Brandy Melville.
She nagged you. That's a nag.
Yeah, so that's when Brandy Melville.
That's literally what a
Yeah.
nag is.
So that's when Brandy Melville became like kind of like a big thing.
Yeah.
When they used to make like the graphic like tanks and stuff. So that was like a big thing. It's kind of like there's no Brandy
Melville.
But there was no Brandy Melville in Sacramento in the whole
Did that
area.
exist then?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was like yeah. So basically I'm just like, damn, like if I was in San Francisco I could literally like go to the Brandy Melville store. But basically the PacSun, the mall, carried some limited like Brandy Melville items. So I'd go to the mall just to buy like these Brandy Melville.
PacSun? That feels weird.
They still do, yeah.
That feels like a weird brand
Yeah.
allegiance. You know,
Yeah.
you'd think it'd be in, I don't know, Abercrombie or, I don't know,
No.
Claire's or something.
No.
Or, you know.
So it's at Brandy Melville.
Yeah.
And yeah, but even before that, like, sorry, just to go back in time for a little bit, because I have a weird memory. When I was like 11 or something, like when I would be like hanging out with people, like I would always want to create like scenarios. I think that's like my impulse to like to like write stories and stuff. Like I'd just be like, what if we had like different names? Like what, like we should just lie to people like we had different names and like
Yeah, right.
like have all
right.
these elaborate backstories and stuff. Like I don't know. Like I was always trying to create a different reality, I guess.
Wow.
But it's probably yeah. I don't know. But I just thought maybe
Right.
the people around me were boring or something.
Yeah.
But not even then. Like I just I don't know.
Yeah.
But so then
Interesting.
in 6th grade.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's almost your impulse to writing as much as anything. It's just these lies that you make up and characters and, you know, stuff in the chat room and stuff.
No,
That's like as, because you have to actually make that stuff work.
yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're just like, you know, making up some weird story about how you met Justin Bieber, you actually have to sell it to people,
Yeah.
you know?
So anyways, when
Yeah.
I was 11, I was wrapped in a lot of Harry Potter drama. I don't think that's really relevant to the writer life. But there's a kid
What's
who
literary?
lied. There was a kid who
I
lied.
wonder how many writers like Harry Potter was like the fucking thing for them when they were kids.
There,
How many people at
Probably a
Columbia MFA like
Probably a
Harry
lot.
Potter was like?
probably a lot, because like a lot of people I think were
Yeah.
into it to an extent. But anyways, this kid Miles literally like lied that he had leukemia, and people like later found out. Like it was this whole weird thing. And
That's fucked up.
yeah, no, it was really fucked up. No, it's really fucked up. It's haunting because there's a photo of me wearing all orange to like show my support for him. And then later I found out like all that
You
shit,
lied
and I was
about it.
like, what the fuck? Like,
Jesus Christ, that's like Clifford. At
No,
least
yeah.
you didn't do that.
no, yeah, there was like a lot going on, and I was like, these people, like, might just be adults who have no better things to do, and like it just seemed like very odd, and I was kind of like, I'm like so young, I shouldn't be on this, so I stopped going on it. That was like on Facebook chats, like I don't know, it was weird. So anyways, back in reality, 6th grade, let me just, we went, 6th grade was like fine, like we went to like Mission Springs, like this like camp, science camp in like Santa Cruz or something.
Nice.
Oh, so basically I could have gone to the middle school that's like my local middle school, but I went to, in Sacramento, but I went to, well this is when we moved to Citrus Heights,
Okay.
and we, yeah,
Citrus Heights.
but we lived in this very like,
I grew up in Grandview Heights.
we lived in this like kind of like cool like enclave where it was like there were like trees everywhere, and like the building, or like the exterior of the building kind of looked like it could have been like in the countryside or something. Like
Yeah.
it was like kind of like a baby blue like robin like exterior
Okay.
facade and stuff.
Right.
Like it was different than like a suburban like kind of like feel.
Yeah.
So
Right,
like it was
right, right.
nice at least, but like
The
it kind
school.
of had like a cottagey feel. But basically, I went to a school that had like an
Nice.
international baccalaureate program,
Wow.
which is like, yeah, I don't.
What the hell does that even mean?
It's basically so like you take like these like advanced courses, and then you also have to do community service and like all this stuff. Basically, to get like you can get like, I think if you actually graduate, you can get a degree that's equivalent to a BA or something. Some like really crazy thing, but I
Yeah.
never went through with it because I left high schools like.
Right.
But like it like, because you have to take all these like exams and stuff, like I don't know, it's like a lot. And like I hated my mom for it at first, because like I was like, everyone in that program was like stressed about like
Yeah.
you know, like exams and stuff like that.
Right.
But I just like I hated all that, like I was
Yeah.
just like, you know, that doesn't really test your intelligence and stuff,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Anyways, all those people sucked, but
Oh my.
so I was just sitting there. Oh, so basically, in my class, we did have like our English teacher, Mrs. Babcock. She was interesting, I guess. So we got to like
Mrs. Babcock.
Well, it was nice. Like we got to keep these composition books where like we decorated and everything. It felt very like
Yeah.
personal and stuff, and
Right.
we got to like basically write like. We were like writing like memoir pieces and stuff in that class.
Right. I'm just gonna keep talking.
Yeah, but even then, like, sometimes I would
Yeah, keep talking.
lie about. I lied about how
You would lie.
I lied
again.
about how I spent
More
summers
lying.
in the British countryside.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's actually crazy. Like I have no.
So you're a
saw
pathological
some-
liar as a child, is what you're saying.
No, I. This was me writing fiction, just
Yeah,
not,
right,
you know,
exactly.
it's-
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
Fiction. It's just fiction.
Right.
But I was able to do it in a way that sold to people. You
Yeah,
know?
right.
Like people really believe like,
Yes.
you were there, like, you know, this is what you were doing, wow, like that's cool, and like
Figure con artist.
no, but then I wrote like a whole memoir piece about like swimming and stuff.
Right.
And like I was
When you
kinda
were in
like,
7th
you know,
grade, you wrote
it's
a memoir
nice.
piece.
Well, 6th grade.
6th grade, okay.
7th grade. Okay, that's 7th grade. Sure. Hold on, but so 6th grade, it was that. It was just kind of getting into like, you know, adjusting to middle school. So it was
Yeah.
just like. Oh, I was really into. This was more in 5th grade, but I was really into Mysterious Benedict Society. That's by Trenton Lee Stewart. It was like this
Okay.
trilogy
Yeah.
about these like gifted students. It's actually like been adapted to a Disney Plus show.
Oh wow, okay.
I watched it. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it was like entertaining, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like Lemony Snicket
Yeah.
meets like a group of like misfits
Okay.
who are like
Right.
trying to like solve all these
I see.
challenges or something.
Right.
But I really like that, and I remember like the best day of my life was when I skipped school to see him because he was doing a talk or like a signing in Marin.
Who, Daniel?
No, Trenton Leicester, the
Okay.
author of the Sirius Benedict
Okay.
Society. Yeah, and I went and like I skipped school to like meet him. But,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I mean I don't know. My
Yeah.
mom's always been supportive of me,
Yeah.
like doing literary things.
Right.
In sixth grade, like I was really like hoping like my teachers would like get that or whatever. But I mean my
Yeah,
teacher was
right.
fine, but she wasn't the most like that's the thing. Like I'm like I don't even remember what we read in sixth
Yeah,
grade.
right.
I was like trying to
Really?
find things
You don't
myself.
remember at all? I remember we read Gilgamesh.
We read Gilgamesh in ninth grade, for me.
What else did we read
But
in
I'm
sixth
also to out myself.
grade?
I did in college, but I think before college I never really read for school. So that's probably why I don't have a memory of anything.
Yeah. I see. Okay. Right.
I was failing English in eighth grade, but we haven't gotten to eighth grade yet.
Okay.
Okay, so sixth grade was that like no, I could not tell you what we were reading. I think we were reading something like The Giver, like stuff like
Okay,
that. But I
yeah.
didn't read it. I
Right.
read it later actually, but
Yeah.
like I did not read it in class.
Yeah.
I really couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Kind of scary to think about. Seventh grade, Miss Manchester. Basically, I like was the first person in the class to reach like the 25 book goal or whatever.
Right.
That's when I started reading. Oh, I guess around that time, or actually in fifth grade, I was really into Tintin comics.
Nice.
Like
How'd
that
you
was
find
like
those?
So okay, going back, so in just going to the library actually, but ever since I was like in fifth grade or something or sixth grade, I volunteered at the library because I
Okay.
was just like what am I gonna do for community service? I was like what's my community? And I was kind of
They
like
made you do that?
yeah, we had to do community service throughout middle school, so I volunteered at the library, but I actually I used to be really into biking, but then I got into a really bad accident.
Oh my god, how old were you?
It wasn't like that, but it was just like the reason why I got into the accident was my fault actually, because so I was going down like a really steep hill. I was like I made it, but then I saw a puddle, like a huge
Yeah.
like puddle. I was like it would be really sick
Yeah.
to like go through the puddle. So I like rode my bike through the puddle, but I think I had like a ditch, and then like I kind of like I don't know.
Wow. In the puddle you crashed.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, it was pretty bad. But then that kind of scared me. I was
How old
kinda,
were
like,
you?
11
That
probably.
fucked you up?
Well, I was just kind of like I'm not, like I'll bike, but like I didn't really go biking seriously anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
I was like I
Right.
have other things to do. But like whenever I went biking, like I'd always like have like certain songs that were on the radio like in my head,
Yeah.
but then I would like add like new verses to them.
Oh,
Like
wow,
to the
yeah.
melody, like
Yeah.
I would add things.
Yeah.
Like I remember distinctly like the White Stripes like "We're Gonna Be Friends" song. Like
Yeah.
I added new verses to it and wrote it in my diary. Like
Wow, really?
yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know. It just seemed like not exactly like a parody, but like I'm just
Yeah.
adding things to
Right,
it.
right,
But so that's
Yeah.
like what I would do when I was biking because I was like
right.
not that I was like bored, but I was like I had to do like something else like while I'm biking.
Yeah.
But I would go to the library, like bike to the library, and like I would just look at the Tintin comics, and I thought that was interesting. Like I
Right.
really liked them,
I see, okay.
and that kind of like connected me to like a wider culture in a way where like I
Right,
feel like
right.
I was like gaining something that was
Mhm.
kind of lost or something.
Yeah.
So then seventh grade, another bit of wasted space where I literally read John Green.
Oh, okay, that's the Fault
The
in Our
Fault in Our
Stars, yes.
I like literally like I don't know, like I thought it was like fine to read, but like I still was like, this isn't like to me that didn't feel like
You didn't get
literature.
yeah, I see.
But like but I
Doesn't
was
feel like
so
Romeo and Juliet to you? Isn't it about like young people dying or something?
yeah, but it was so like but I don't know why. Like I think I was just kind of bored. but I pretend to be really into it. Like, I had the t-shirt and everything from it.
Yeah, people were
I had
obsessed
the
with that
t-shirt.
fucking book.
I got like the bumper sticker to put in my mom's car. Like, I was low-key like kind of weird about it.
It's like
but-
fandom. It's like everything
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
There's like these Broadway plays have these fans that are like
Oh,
psycho about, you know, like
Yeah.
about what's that?
Yeah, I don't know. Fandom
Yeah.
culture was just kind of like insane, and like I guess that was a little central, but like
Yeah,
like but even like while I was in it, like I did have a sense of like self-awareness that this was kind of cringe, but like I still like kept going with it.
yeah.
But like yeah, like I remember trying to read like I was trying to read like David Copperfield when I was like in 5th grade.
Right.
I mean,
Dickens.
yeah, I was trying to get into Dickens when I was in 5th grade, but
Sure.
but in 7th grade, I read a lot of like young adult books, like in the beginning of 7th grade, I read like, what is it called? Do you know that book that's like Diary of like an Anonymous Girl or something like that?
Yeah.
That's like controversial because they found out like the therapist had like written it and it wasn't actually the girl's
I
diary
didn't
or
hear
something.
about this. No.
Oh, so it's
I
from
have
the
not heard about this.
50s.
Oh, okay. No, I never heard.
Wait,
of
no,
this.
it's not. That's not what it's called. It's called it's called like Go Ask Alice.
Okay.
That's
I've
what it's
heard
called.
of that,
That's what it's
but
called.
I've never heard about the controversy.
Okay, yeah.
of it.
So like I was just kind of like I was always like interested in like I don't want to say counterculture, but like
Yeah.
that sounds cliche, but like drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So I like read it in 7th grade, and I don't know, it was just like really compelling to me because I was
Yeah.
like it seemed like a raw depiction or whatever. But then I later found out like the girl's therapist had written it or something. But I didn't know how to
Right,
feel
yeah.
about that. But like, I mean, I thought it was interesting. Like I don't know, like it just seemed more interesting than what they were like making us read
Yeah. Mhm.
in schools and stuff. But like,
Right.
cause I really like Percy the Wallflower. So then
Yeah.
then I finally read, or before, sometime in 7th grade, some girl online told me that something I said reminded her of Holden Caulfield.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, like maybe I should finally read Catcher in the Rye because I had been meaning to.
Yeah.
So then I went out and like before, like I was trying to not hype myself up, but like become acquainted with Salinger and stuff. So I read his whole like that biography that had come out.
Really.
Yeah, and then I watched the movie.
Really.
And
Before.
and then I went and got Catcher in the Rye, and like I have like a weird. This is what I mean. Like I feel like it's kind of like a mix of different cultural touchstones in my life. But while I was reading Catcher in the Rye, that's when Lord's first album came out.
Right.
So like that kind of like has always just kind of been like my coming of age, where it's like
Wow.
or starting to come of age. Where
Yeah.
it's like,
Right.
it's like Lord singing about like basically like ennui and getting old and stuff, and then
Yeah.
it's all like isn't it scary like getting old
Right,
and those
right,
lyrics while I'm reading Catcher in the Rye, and
Yeah.
that just felt like I kind of felt like alive like for the first time
Right.
like since moving to the suburbs, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Like I just distinctly remember like listening to that in my
Interesting.
mom's car, and like
Yeah.
I just miss like CD culture, like when you can just put it in a car and like just like listen
Yeah.
to CDs, like
Yeah.
because I feel like Spotify, like you could just like pick songs to play
Yeah.
like
of
next,
course, yeah.
so you're not forced to like listen to everything.
Right.
But because I would like listen to CDs like all the way through and stuff.
Right.
And then get like annoyed by certain songs, but then yeah, I got really into Salinger, but also like what do you call it? I was gonna say something, but
You're talking about Lord.
yeah, yeah, I just feel like all that, like it just kind of connected, and like I just felt like this kind of like desire for like something more, even though like I was only in 7th grade, but like there's just this like desire that like I needed to be somewhere else, or like just like this yearning and like
Yeah.
nostalgia and like everything, like this whole like whirlwind,
Right.
and that's like really when I was like I really like started taking like poetry more seriously, I guess. But it's also like I think it has to do a lot with music too.
Yeah.
So I got really into, honestly I got really into 7th grade. I was really into the Smiths and
Really? In 7th grade?
well, actually, like I think I was like I was exposed to the Smiths and the Cure because my dad would make CDs for me and stuff.
Right.
But like in 7th grade, I was really like making lists of like my favorite bands and stuff like that, and like yeah, like the XX, stuff like that.
Right.
And I was just like trying to, like, I've always been like, even though like I was never like, you know, like writing about pop culture
Right.
like necessarily, or like in the way where it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm talking about like some blockbuster movie or something, or like a bestseller or something,
Yeah.
or like a fandom. Like I was always like kind of like my one sentence novel or something. Like I've always, or like even my poetry now, like I've always been like trying to collage every factor of my life together.
Right.
Like my clothing kind of has nods to my music taste, and like like
Yeah.
I remember walking, like I don't shop there now, but when I used to go to Forever 21,
Yeah.
like I had like this sweater that just had a white X, and I was hoping like, you know, people would get kind of like the nod to the XX or something. Like I don't know, like I was always trying to find ways to like mold all those.
Right.
And like I feel like I definitely did that like on Tumblr, where like I can like quote song lyrics and also make collages and stuff like that. But I was like really trying to like do that in reality, I guess. But yeah, in 7th grade, like I was writing, so I wrote this poem that got in the library contest. It won like 2nd place.
But it was like the whole library and like the community or something.
Yeah,
right?
it's a community.
It wasn't just like kids.
So it was like all different like high schools and middle schools and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What was that poem about?
I can actually find it. I think it's something about the aftermath of doom, I think.
The aftermath of doom. Maybe I'll move the camera. Move it down here. Just to give people a different. This is the Ashley Escobar interview here. We going in depth.
Okay, so
Ashley.
this was basically like I think the title that I ended up using was like
Yeah.
it was something kind of like witty, like a Fall Out Boy lyric. Like,
Yeah,
you know how Fall Out Boy
Fall
has
Out
like
Boy
really
lyric.
long like song titles.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I think because I don't have the title here, but I think
Yeah.
it was something about like you know, if I had written a song about you, like this would be the song or something in the vein of that.
Yeah.
So they were like kind of fake song lyrics in a way, but that's why the language is kind of like this, because it's like I was trying to write a song, but because it's not a real song, it just had to be a poem basically.
Okay.
Another year, another battle, I'll see you fight the tears. I can see you and me together growing old through all the years, but let's just play pretend through all the lies and games. I know all you want is the fame, but is that too much to ask for? When the world's about to stop, I'll try to think of you, but all I see are the messy rooms and the parties full of misery and the aftermath of doom. So just close your eyes and play this game, because you're gonna die anyways. You told me all of it would be over, but then again, that's just what you said. Your voice full of hope, but to me it's only dread. I wish you could be forgotten like a delete button in my head, but instead you're here tonight, so hurry up and stay. I was just like...
So it was like song lyrics.
Yeah, it was basically song lyrics.
So
But I
that's
didn't have a
always been
song.
like a big influence. For
Yeah,
you,
but I
the
didn't have a
lyric
song.
thing.
Yeah. But like I just didn't have a song. So
Right.
And then I wrote this poem that God, I hope it's in here. Okay, here we go. I have like a whole like my collected poetry in 2014 or something like that.
Wow.
So I wrote this poem, where is it? Holden Caulfield.
Okay.
Lowercase.
You want to read it or?
Yeah. Maroon Oxfords, a collared shirt, the record player hums a children's tune. You take off your red hunting cap and take a good long drag. You ask if I want to, your ambivalent jag. I turn the lights off, listening to your whispers about what a phony world this is. My eyes just wander around the hotel room that I'll never ever miss.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, just like these poems and like.
You say you're 14 when you read that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
So
just,
this
like,
is when you
writing,
started like doing poetry kind of more seriously and
Yeah, like not just in my diary, like I would just start writing poems about things. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like scared, like oh, like I don't want to, like scared, like I'm gonna write a bad poem or something,
Yeah.
So I would just like kind of like keep it, but also at the same time I was trying to write. So I tried to do like NaNoWriMo, whatever. National Novel Writing Month, yeah. So I tried.
I've never done it.
I did it. I tried to do it 7th grade or
Yeah.
7th grade or 8th grade? 7th grade maybe.
NaNoWriMo.
I don't know. My mom like totally trusted me.
That's
for
like
some
the
reason.
stupidest. It's just easier to say
No, yeah.
National Novel Writing Month.
Yeah, but the people who do it are kind of cringe. Or some people.
I should do that, honestly. I should do it every year. I'd love to write
No.
one novel a
Okay,
year.
I mean, it's nice in theory, but like, I mean, if you can do it, that's amazing. But like, I feel like some people who do it are very cringe, or like they're trying to do like a very plot-heavy novel.
Everybody who does it.
No,
I
yeah.
don't think anybody's written a real novel doing
Yeah.
that. They're.
I don't know.
It's always people that are not writers.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'll do write a
Okay,
novel.
but like, so basically, when I was like, what, like
running
13,
a 5K or something.
when I was 13, my mom dropped me off at the fucking like Starbucks and the Barnes and Noble to write with these like 25-year-olds.
At National Novel Writing Month? Really?
Because you can go on the
Wow,
website
okay.
and like find people near you in the community, and then they do like these meetups to write together.
Yeah.
And I was just the youngest by like decades. Like I was the youngest person there, just like, hi, like I'm trying to write my novel.
So you've been very serious about it.
Yeah, and this
really.
one girl that I
Yeah.
knew, Chloe, she was interesting. She's always been like an interesting character in my life, but she told me like, oh, like, cause I sent her like a chapter from my novel that I was
Yeah.
writing, and she was like, oh, I feel like I could see this being like a Sundance film or something, and that was like interesting. Obviously, like
Yeah.
as like a 7th
Yeah.
grader, like I'm like, oh, like what's Sundance, and like I was kind of like interested
Yeah.
because like also films have also like
Yeah, right.
been a central thing.
Right.
Where like I don't know. But I was just like, oh, that's interesting. But she was like, oh, like the details you use are really interesting, and like the way like it's very like visual and like
Yeah,
cinematic.
Interesting.
Yeah. But that novel, it didn't really. I think the novel was really insane because there was a novel about like it started with 2 people on a train.
Yeah.
But then I think I got really. I think at some point I wanted to write a novel about time travel and Hitler was in it. I'm like, I can't remember what it was about. But I don't know.
Okay.
Well, because I was like, maybe I'll write
Uncharacteristic
historical
of you.
fiction
Really?
novel, but no, but it never really went anywhere. I don't know if I still have it somewhere. It must be somewhere. Well, because that's what I hate about like the flash drives. It's like once you start having so many flash drives, you're like, I don't know where.
You had everything on flash drives?
At
You're
that
talking
point,
about
yeah.
like the plugged into a fucking
Yeah,
USB?
like at that point, yeah, the USB stuff.
Nice.
But
So you're big into flash drives, huh?
yeah. Well, because I get paranoid that like one day like Google Drive. Well, because I've
Yeah,
heard
right,
like
Google
actually
Drive, yeah.
people have issues. Like some like actual like writers have had issues where Google Drive has like not.
Oh,
Has
if
it
you
just
don't get
gotten rid of
internet, you
their-
can't even access
Yeah,
it.
no, but Google Drive like literally got rid of someone's work because of copyright or something. It's like something
I
really
believe
insane.
it.
So I was just kind of like,
I would not trust
I don't trust Google Drive.
Fuck
Yeah,
no.
like I was like, I don't trust Google
It was
Drive.
like the final.
No, yeah.
No way.
Like I was like, I would not trust them. But anyways, so I tried that, and then my favorite books were like. Then I got really into Donna Tartt, and
right.
that's kind
okay.
of like the
What
big,
age was that?
Well, okay, so this is what I'm trying to figure out, and it's probably on my Tumblr because I'm like trying to figure out the
What was so great about Donna Tartt?
Well,
Was this like sexual or something?
no,
I don't know anything about Donna Tartt.
not at
I
all.
thought she wrote Secretary or whatever.
That's Mary Gateskill.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on. But basically, around the time that I won the award, or won the second
Carl.
place thing.
This guy's asking about Carl. He put a dildo all over the piano. It was funny. He's definitely funny. There's no question. I mean, the guy definitely, like, he roasted everybody. He went up and roasted everybody. You know? It was funny. He told me beforehand. He came up and he's like, hey, man, I've got this dildo that I'm gonna, and I'm like, what are you gonna do with the dildo? He's like, I'm gonna play the piano with it. I'm like, okay, fine. But when he whipped it out, people thought he whipped his dick out. There were people that were aghast, and I was like, okay. I knew what was going on, so I was in on it, so. I'm now his ally. Yeah, he was, it was nice. He's a beloved streamer. So how did you find him? Are you on Kick or whatever, or? All right, anyway, let's continue. This guy's like, what were we talking about? We were talking about Donna Tartt.
No, wait. It's just so hard. So before, so around 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, I was like volunteering at the library, right? And that's when I just really wish I knew the exact like moment.
Yeah.
But I don't. But I was reading Scattered Blues.
Okay.
Or
right.
is that what it's called?
That's a Donna Tartt book?
No. Scattered.
You're talking about a Jack Kerouac book?
But
I think it's just called Scattered Poems.
Scattered Poems, yeah. Scattered Poems.
Yeah. Right. Don't keep talking, the guy left.
Okay.
So
yeah, I got
that.
Scattered Poems.
Okay, yeah.
And I read his book of blues.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and Mexico City Blues and all that. And I just thought that was like the best thing ever.
Really?
Well, cause I was like, I just never got into like poetry that they like taught you like what in like middle school.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Cause I didn't like rhyme and meter and all that
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
So like reading like his just like kind of stream of consciousness, like portraits of things, like
Right.
I thought that was like really compelling.
Uh-huh.
So I like started reading more of that.